Well, I'm very pleased to be joined with here today on Primetime Local News, platinum-selling Canadian artist Delaney Jane. Delaney, first off, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me.
We're here talking today about your new EP called Somewhere Else that comes out really soon, but let's just start with talking about the creation process for that album and how it differs from your last EP.
So for this particular body of work, I had actually written most of the songs pre-quarantine, and some ranging back to even 2 years ago. For example, the lead single, Somewhere Else, I wrote at a songwriting camp in Sweden. And it was March 12th, I was in Los Angeles, and that's when we went into full lockdown this year. And it was after that that I started to really think about the kind of music I wanted to put out this year. And so I went through some of my songs I'd previously written, and that was really where I started with this EP. And from there, I wanted to let it grow, and the other songs all came after Somewhere Else. But that was the song that I felt like encapsulated the vibe of where I wanted to go. It's kind of got an 80s synthwave vibe, and it's upbeat, yet it's still emotional, staying true to Delaney Jane emo fashion. But like always, I've written all of these songs, and they're all true and real stories or real emotions from my own life. So that's really how it came together. It wasn't like a 6-month period of grinding. It was these songs that had been written over time and from different experiences.
What is the type of genre that you perform, and give us a sense of your music style?
I think, like any artist, your sound evolves and changes over time. I put out my first album last year called Dirty Pretty Things, and wow, what a wide range of kind of variety on there. I would like to say that in a nutshell, my music is dark pop music with electronic influence. I write really raw, real, sometimes gritty lyrics for some songs. And then there are other songs like Bad Habits, which some people might know, that has been compared to like a darker T Swift or something. but yeah, I like to talk about the things that sometimes people feel uncomfortable to talk about. But that's just me being vulnerable. And then, the more open I am, the more it allows other people to be open and connect with me.
Just to bring up some of the highlights here for yourself, you did perform at the iHeartRadio Jingle Ball, and there were lots of other big names performing in that concert as well. When you get all that recognition and all these opportunities, what goes through your head with all these things happening for yourself?
It's pretty crazy, especially because I came from, I came up in a different scene entirely. I kind of came up in the EDM world doing feature songs with different producers and DJs. So when I finally got to break free from that and really dive into my own solo project, it was super liberating getting to write my own songs and put out my own stories. And it's funny because you mentioned the Jingle Ball, and I'm pretty sure, the Chainsmokers headlined that, and they're actually good friends of mine. I went on tour with them, with Sean Frank with them a couple of years ago now. Who else played? Dua Lipa. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. For that one specifically, when I performed, and then I got to stand, front row section and watch Dua Lipa, Khalid. The Chainsmokers are my boys, but still, it was like, it's very surreal once you start, started from a smaller town Canadian girl, and then you become intertwined with these massive and super talented artists. I hope there's more of that, because this year has been, it feels like we've all taken a step back, and I really miss performing, and I miss feeling like, I'm moving forward in my career, but everyone is feeling the same right now. I think that life is kind of stagnant. So I hope we get back to that.
I know many artists are keeping themselves busy since they can't really go out on tour. So have you done anything kind of unique or cool? Have you picked up any new hobbies? What's some things that you've been doing?
Okay, well, let me show you. I invested on my favorite investments this quarantine was a full weight set. So anyone who follows me or knows me knows how exercise is my number one trick to stay sane. I've gotten into cooking again. I used to love cooking, but my my lifestyle and the touring life, it literally, like, I would just rely on Uber Eats all the time. You know, I'm in sessions, I order food. Traveling, you order food. And so I've really enjoyed getting back to cooking, baking. Yesterday I did a full tie-dye day, and I wish I had them right here, but I did some incredible tie-dye, and I'm thinking like I'm inspired. I don't know. I might dive into like starting my own clothing line doing tie-dye. But those are just a few things that I've been keeping busy with.
And lastly, for those that want to hear your new EP somewhere else, how can people get it?
The EP drops December 11th, and you can find it on pretty much any streaming platform: Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora. There are so many more that I can't keep track of, but it's everywhere you want to find it.
Well, Delaney, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. Somewhere Else, her new EP drops on December 11th. Thank you so much.
Thank you again for having me. Take care and stay safe.